What's good, family? Shout out to my doggy, Dougie Freer, for boosting up your man the YB coin, no doubt. So, as you've seen by the title, and as you can see on your screen now, Anthony Zest Johnston is big bitter right now. Yeah, people who follow AJ on his socials will know that he involved in all the latest news. Yeah, he was even commenting on reposting pictures of Will Smith recently. When Will Smith went through that debacle, don't talk about my wife gate, yeah? AJ was all in the video, reposting the pics he's had with Will Smith in the past, saying, I support you, brother, etc., etc. Now, AJ's own sport is boxing. And in fact, when AJ was winning, AJ was the first one to be all in the video saying, Fury, fight me next, etc., etc. So listen, AJ, he stay in the loop, 100%. But guess what? AJ and many others, he's not the only one. AJ and many others have done their damnedest in the last 24 hours to avoid and or otherwise not comment on this cracking fight. And I've spoke to someone in AJ's team who is close to him, and they're telling me basically he going through it right now. Why? Well, for a long time, one of AJ's best fights was known as the Dillian White fight. That's the fight people go back to. Even myself, when I was at the peak of my AJ jock riding, yeah, I would say, oh, if AJ could just go back to how he was in the White fight. Oops. So what I've heard from someone in his camp, they've told me that, listen, AJ big bitter because on AJ's best day, on AJ's most ferocious day, when he was young and whatever else, he went life and death with Dillian White, 50-50 with him. And that was a worse Dillian White as well, because Dillian White had a bad shoulder, he was less experienced, he had no real training team, etc., etc. These days, Dillian got a full training team, he in Portugal, he got this, he got that. So Tyson Fury fought the best Dillian White. And guess what? Fury played with him and then chinned him cold with one bang. Oops. So, what we know is, if Tyson Fury had a loss last night, AJ, all the man would be in the video, Eddie Hearn, all them kind of cats will be on the Instagram and on the social saying, well done Dilly, yeah Dilly, this, that, the other. But because Fury won in devastating fashion, I'm hearing they're going through it psychologically. I'm hearing AJ feeling like, damn, yeah, I'm psychologically shot to pieces. I mean, most people today would tell you that AJ vs Dillian is a 50-50 fight. If anything, they're probably going to give Dillian the edge. Do you know what I'm saying? Never mind AJ in his prime. Today, he get washed by Dillian. Even this bumillion version get washed. Yeah. So, like I said, someone told me that AJ has been almost awkward about it today. Obviously, people in AJ's camp are also around boxing, so it's kind of like apparently a touchy subject. It's like, don't mention it. Don't mention the fact that Tyson Fury just iced the man that you went life and death with in your prime. He's one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, normally AJ would be all in the video. Oh, great fight. Watch this, watch that. This has really hit a button with certain cats. Eddie Hearn, he's silent. Got nothing to say. Anthony Johnston, silent. Nothing to say. All the man who was gassing Dillian, silent. Nothing to say. So, I get it. I mean, if I was in... listen, at the end of the day, yeah, these cats are rich anyway, so I'm not going to... I wouldn't sit here and tell you that it makes a difference to them, but listen, you can have all the money you want. But when you've dedicated yourself to a craft, and I've never been to AJ's level of millions of dollars, but in terms of high-level sport, I feel like I can comment to some extent. And trust me, you can have all the money or whatever... You can have all the money and or whatever you want, but as athletes... When you see your peers getting off all over your performances, there's nothing more that will burn someone. And AJ burning right now. He putting out videos on Snapchat trying to act like he don't care. You know, no one's there. He posting videos smiling, all happy. He ain't happy. He cut inside. Because like I said, you can always tell when someone's bitter, because if you're not bitter... In fact, like I said, in the past, when AJ was on top... or perceived to be on top, he'd have no problem congratulating Fury or whatever and saying, let's do it. But now, you can see how the balance has changed. Now it's turned... think about it, people. It's easy to be what's the word? It's easy to be happy and go lucky and encouraging everyone when you're on top, but when you're down bad and you're going through it in your own career, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder for AJ to be saying now, oh, well done, Fury, because AJ thinking, damn, well done. Fury, the baddest right now. He running things right now. AJ don't wish Fury well as such, and there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest with you. In high level sport, you shouldn't wish your enemies well. And you know, to some extent, I guess I'm glad that AJ ain't all in a video, because at least maybe some of this bitterness is going to come through in the fight. But still, the fact he's on social media laughing and smiling. Listen, Johnson, there's nothing to laugh and smile about. What you should be doing is sitting there and locking in and concentrating and watching and studying. That's how you perform. And to be honest, no word of a lie, if Tyson Fury does retire, AJ needs to sack all of them bum coaches and bring in Sugar Hill. Because I'm not saying Sugar Hill, I've never believed in this narrative of magical coaches, but as far as magical coaches go, yeah, many people, myself included, would have told you that no, Tyson Fury don't have no power and there's nothing gonna change that and power's genetic and all this other stuff. Oops. Whatever way you want to cook it, yeah. Tyson Fury was known for having no power. And all of a sudden he chinning dudes with one bang. Clean, with no build-up, no breaking down, no nothing, it's cold. One bang. And he's getting better. Yeah, he's getting exponentially better every time. So, and Sugar Hill, the only guy who added that kind of value. Now obviously Tyson Fury himself is a unique athlete. Psychologically, he has it all together. As controversial as that may sound, in as much as, oh, but YB, he's had problems in the past. I'm talking about in the ring. Tyson Fury has never had problems really in the ring. He's never had problems getting his nuts out. You've never seen Tyson Fury trying to find a way out of a fight. Outside the ring's a whole different thing, but as far as in the ring goes, you've never seen it. That said, as much as Tyson Fury's in the ring head has been held together, Sugar Hill bring that extra element. So AJ needs to humble himself and go and bring in the Sugar Hill if Tyson Fury does retire. Even if he don't retire, still get begging. Oops. Yeah, because your team dead. Same as Dillian team. All these bum teams, all these amateur trainers, no good. That's what we know now. They're no good. Yeah, simple as that. So stop being bitter and stop trying to, I'm 100%. AJ, I've heard today, super bitter, and rightfully so, but still. Rather than coming out and saying, you know what, people, I'm super bitter, the fact that Tyson Fury's undoing my whole legacy. Yeah? Most people look at AJ versus Dillian Whyte as a key part of AJ's legacy. They'd say things like, well, Dillian Whyte's a top 3 fighter and AJ beat him, and so that means, you know what I'm saying? No word of a lie. Every AJ fan, will, if they're honest, will tell you that AJ beating Dillian Whyte and knocking him out was a massive part of AJ's legacy. That's a top 3 part of his legacy. Okay, Klitschko would be number 1. Who else is there? Who is AJ beat who would be above Dillian Whyte? Okay, Klitschko. Who else is there? Not Pulev. Not Povetkin. Parker? You went 12 rounds with him. So yeah, literally. Dillian Whyte was a top 3 victory for AJ. And it was a life and death victory as that. So it's no wonder he bitter. He's thinking, damn, Tyson Fury coming along and making easy work of my legacy. Because many people in the past have said things like, well, AJ went life and death with Dillian Whyte, so we know Dillian Whyte would give Fury a hard time. Oops. It's truly peak right now. It really is. Yeah, so AJ, stop posting videos trying to make out you've just magically forgot about what's going on in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think that's a bit dead myself. Oh, the biggest fight in Britain just happened and I'm going to act like I don't know anything's going on. But yet you knew that Will Smith all the way across the pond was doing, you know what I'm saying? I just don't believe it myself. Yeah, it's much better to comment on it as you've been doing for the rest of your career. This really is the first time I've seen AJ all of a sudden not know a massive fight was going on. Same as Eddie Hearn. All of a sudden these guys' social media accounts are empty. Normally they're all in the video, talking about all sorts, reposting photos, etc, etc. So yeah, I just wanted to bring you man the exclusive news. Shouldn't be a shock to no one, but obviously your man AJ, he going through it right now, super duper bitter. He in his feels, from what I'm hearing from his team. No doubt about it.